Welcome. Thank you, everybody, for taking a few minutes out of your day to join myself and Jim here on the panel. Very excited to be here at Brand Innovators and to share the stage with Jim. My name is Andrew Lafiosca. I'm the Managing Director for Nielsen Sports America, and we are a sponsorship, measurement, fan insights company that I'm sure many of you have heard of, and some of you work with us already. Great partners with the Chiefs as well as the NFL, as are you, Jim. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your role and who you are and what's going on at Nationwide?
Yeah, Jim McCoy, lead all sports marketing and talent relationships at Nationwide, and been there for almost 18 years on the sports space. But this is my 7th draft, so it's great to be here at a team partner and a great team partnership that we have had with the Chiefs for the last number of years. But I, am accountable for all of our relationships across, what we do with the NFL, minor league baseball, National Women's Soccer League, a lot of regional activities that we do, ultimately to drive value for the business through the investments that we make. So it's a great role. We've got a great team and great partnerships.
Fantastic. Massive portfolio. Let's be honest. You're invested in a lot of different places. Everything from community activations to professional sports and entertainment, as well as personalities throughout the industry. What role does sponsorship play in the broader mix for Nationwide and their marketing strategy?
Yeah, it's evolved. I mean, we as a business, as our business distribution model has changed, our marketing has changed, and ultimately our sponsorships have changed. But what have been pretty consistent of our 3 objectives, anything we do, we want to help the Nationwide, build the brand. We're 2026 will be our 100th year as a company. On your side is our biggest iconic jingle and connection point. But we want to keep that brand healthy, and all these sponsorships can help do that. Bigger focus has been put on driving business through these partnerships and measurable impact as we continue to have to justify the dollars on an annual basis like everybody else in the room. So trying to connect with our business partners, and we have we're known as an insurance company, auto insurance probably, but what you don't know is our financial part of our business is kind of the fastest growing area, 401k, annuities, pet insurance, ag insurance. So we're all these different places trying to connect with those businesses to say, hey, use the NFL to entertain your type of clients out here at the draft, the Super Bowl. Connect, our B2B relationships that we have with, the Chiefs or the Jets or some of these other teams. So try to do more to drive business, immediate, and also the kind of the hosting and entertainment side, and then community impact. Love hearing that, what the Chiefs are doing. For youth, we as a company, that's in our DNA, and so how can these relationships, sponsorships help drive a lot of what we do. In the NFL, Walter Payton Man of the Year is our biggest focus, and it's we think the best of the NFL that we get to be associated with, and kind of pulling all those pieces together to show the value at the end of the day.
Excellent. I think I was a pet insurance customer of yours, so I do have a connection there. So we talked yesterday a little bit about how you're shifting from B2C more to B2B. How has that shift from a foundational objective of the business changed the way you look at your partnerships, whether it's existing or new partnerships?
Yeah, they've evolved. Just brand, we still have those elements and signage and how we're utilizing media to show up. But I think it's the creative conversations that we're able to have with our partners to have better access and connections. Access matters. We're in a competitive space where, in an independent insurance world, our producers have a lot of different choices of who they do business with, who they spend time with, who they learn updates from. Getting access to the Super Bowl or the draft or kickoff or other premier events across the country has been a growing way for us to spend time and ultimately drive a measurable impact coming out of that. So the big relationships that we have, the talent that we infuse into a lot of these different events and activities and campaigns are 2 just differentiators as we're trying to break through with those intermediaries.
Yeah, and so with community activation then being such an important piece of your portfolio, how do you measure that? How do you identify a community initiative or community activation like we heard from Jennifer and Laura before on the Chiefs as the role it plays? How does that work with Nationwide, and what do you look for?
Yeah, at the top of Walter Payton Man of the Year, there's a lot of brand benefit we get from that. But we drill down and work with all 32 nominees. We go deeper with 16 teams that highlight the platform in a big way. We saw during the nomination phase from December through Super Bowl, 40% of our overall PR impressions as a company came from that platform, and 100% positive. So it's a platform that you can get behind. So we're trying to find as much of those key measures. There's other platforms. We work with Nationwide Children's Hospital and do a lot tied to our golf programs. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the past, we have had a deep partnership with him, and my team actually raised last year $6 million for the hospital through different activities. So we have measurable in return on actually what we're seeing from a fundraising, helping the hospital and their brand, us partnering with them in a true community and philanthropic way.
So let's capitalize off that comment on the Walter Payton Award. You just negotiated an extension with the NFL. You're here with the Chiefs. This is obviously a powerful platform. I think you just mentioned 40% of your overall impressions coming out of that campaign. What's the impact internally inside your four walls with your executives, and how do they view the work that you're doing and the role sponsorship plays for their ability to drive their business?
Yeah, this is our 10th season with the league, and it was a big decision for the league to put our name on that award, and the Payton family as well. And so it's been something that it's been great to build together. Peyton, we're with Peyton Manning, and when he won the award, he jokes that it was kind of in a back hallway in Detroit around the Super Bowl that they presented it. And now, thanks to Roger and the team in the NFL, it's positioned as the last award given at honors during Super Bowl. It's highlighted pregame on the field with our winner, and we bring all 32 nominees into the Super Bowl market. There's a community event. It's built, and we've made a big investment, but I'd say our partners also stepped up and made a big investment to make it a very special platform. The men that we get to work with each and every year, it gets harder and harder. I mean, Patrick was a nominee this year for the Chiefs, and Dak, an incredible winner for the Cowboys, and the people that the alumni that we get to work with throughout the year. It's just an incredible filter. In a time where you want to associate your brand with talent, but the risk that's out there, it's an immediate filter that puts us with incredible people that are doing great things and have been doing great things for a long period of time. So it's a special place. It gives a lot of energy. Every big platform that the NFL is doing, Walter Payton Manning of the Year is infused in it. So it's a year-round sponsorship.
Yeah, it's a fantastic platform. The NFL Honors and the league has done a fantastic job of just making that an amazing event, almost on par with the Oscars, some might argue. But congratulations, though, on that association and being associated with such an amazing philanthropic effort there. Let's switch gears a little bit. We've got the KC Current here in town, women's soccer team. They're getting a stadium. The NWSL is shot out of the gate this year with fantastic viewership numbers. Angel City is blowing up LA with records on ticket sales and sponsorship. What role does women's sports play in your strategy at Nationwide?
Yeah, I'd say growing. I mean, it's amazing to see where women's sports has come the last number of years. We a number of years tried to get into a couple bigger relationships, and based on some competitive blocks, had to pivot, but made a great pivot into the NWSL 3 years ago, and knew there was a lot of potential there. Obviously, they've gone through some challenges, but they've come out with incredible growth. Going to 14 teams next year. The current, the ownership groups that are aligned behind these teams. There's great potential. With that fan base, incredibly engaged, and that was what got us excited. On the front end of in social media and all the content that they were. Connecting with, we work with 12 different players right now, so the access that we get through player ambassadors, we have a community impact award tied to that sponsorship as well, and so I think as we talk to that team, one of the comment that I love is they were at that time 8 years old as a league, and the response was we don't have 40 years of reasons to say no. Let's try to figure things out and be creative and try things, and that was pretty exciting to have the ability to do that in markets that really matter to Nationwide as well.
Yeah, as a father of two girls who play soccer and watch soccer, I've been amazed at their ability to connect a national team player to a player in the NWSL. What has been a pleasant surprise with your investment that you maybe didn't see coming or didn't expect?
I think just the access and with the players and their willingness to support different initiatives that we have and their time. We actually brought 4 players into Columbus because just out of a conversation that we had, at our championship weekend in Louisville a couple years ago about these women are highly educated from the Dukes, the Stanfords, and playing professional soccer, but what's next? That coming out of that, they haven't had a chance to develop their skill set. So we brought in 4 players for a 2-week immersion at Nationwide to see what it's like working for a Fortune 100 company. And getting feedback from them on kind of how we work through the sponsorship and what we can do better, and but also giving them some direction of where they potentially go after they retire. So working with the players have been fantastic. They just make everything really easy for us.
Fantastic. And so typically hand in hand with the conversation of women's sports is DE&I. You guys are very well invested in cultural initiatives and activities. What role is DE&I doing or playing in your business now, and how have you adjusted, right? Because in the last 5 to 10 years, DE&I has obviously become much more top of mind, and rightfully so. How have you, as a corporate kind of conservative business, switched and be more viewable or more in the public eye with your support?
Yeah, I mean, the great thing about Nationwide is this is not a new thing for us. I mean, we've invested for decades in HBCUs, the CIAA, National Black MBA, Latina Style, all these different places that we have made multiple millions of dollars of investments to be part of those communities, be part of those events. And it's paid great dividends for us. Our executive leadership team, if you look at the makeup of our board and our senior leaders, incredibly diverse set of incredible leaders. And in terms of our sponsorship portfolio and what we've been able to do, I think working with our multicultural team to bring opportunities to the table, like the Hispanic Heritage Foundation, which we've had a long partnership with. We did something at the Super Bowl last year in Phoenix around that. COPA for our minor league baseball program and kind of their Hispanic-focused efforts there. So just trying to find different ways within our partnerships to leverage the existing spend that we have, but also connect to our multicultural team in a meaningful way as well.
That's fantastic, and hopefully you're an example for so many other companies out there that have put a concerted effort behind those initiatives. Let's switch gears a little bit. Columbus-based company, you've got your name on a building over there. It's been a long investment. I think you just extended that relationship. What's the difference with that type of partnership versus, let's say, what you're doing with the Chiefs or the NFL?
Yeah, we love to support the places that we live and work. So we have big offices in Des Moines, Iowa. Columbus, Ohio is our largest headquarter market, in Scottsdale. And so we do a little bit more, obviously, in the group that live in Kansas City here, we're invested. I'm on the sports commission. We're trying to get big events to the city and support things in a different way. But we have a presence, obviously, unique relationship with the Blue Jackets. We helped build the arena many years ago. We developed the whole arena district, which now has 3 world-class facilities with Nationwide Arena, Huntington Park, and Lower.com Field, where the Crew play. Right down our street in our backyard. So it's really important partnerships, foundational to the city, foundational to Nationwide and that district. And we want to be committed to support and also connect with our associates, make them proud of those relationships, give them some access, and try to keep them engaged in what's going on downtown.
Yeah, and you're also a partner of the Crew, Jersey partner, which we'll get to in a second, but also Memorial Tournament, one of the best golf tournaments on the tour. And we're all aware of the disruption that Live Tour has created within the world of golf. Is there a concern from Nationwide's perspective on that kind of battle between the PGA and Live Tour and what it could mean to the roster of athletes at the Memorial?
Yeah, having worked in golf 20 plus years, we used to have the Nationwide Golf Tour. It's now the Korn Ferry Tour. Just have a lot of appreciation for what that group does and for charity and the amazing things that they do. We've had this is our 12th year with the Memorial. And yeah, it's important, the field strength is always going to be a driver of the success of the event and how many people are watching it on TV, how many people come out. So we're paying close attention to that. The good news is we have Jack Nicklaus tied to that, the greatest of all time. The field is very strong, and the health of that event is as strong as it's ever been. We gave more to charity last year, which Nationwide Children's was a big benefactor from that than they ever have. The attendance, the interest level from the Columbus community, which is important for us, is bigger than ever. Our associates volunteer in a big way, and then we do a lot to bring business guests into town and entertain them over the course of that week, and it continues to be a really strong part of the portfolio.
That's fantastic. And I think, with the change or the agreement between the PGA and the Live Tour on allowing the players to play in the majors this year, it's just a matter of time before they figure out how this really needs to work and they all play well in the sandbox. Let's switch gears a little bit as well, and let's kind of talk bigger picture on sports. You've been in the industry for 20 plus years. What's the biggest trend or topic or issue you personally are following in the industry at the moment?
Laura mentioned just content and just trying to figure out how to connect, to the consumer and the fan base. Years ago we had the large mobile marketing footprint that you would send out, and we were doing hard, lead generation, collecting forms, and all the other things. It's obviously evolved. Social, digital, and content is king. We do a lot with Omaha Productions and Peyton's team on trying to enhance our existing relationships through some of the unique content that they're doing. They have the new Netflix series coming out this summer, and it's really interesting just to see all going deeper into sport in creative ways, and just trying to find the right way to integrate into those different activities, whether that's Manning Cast when Brad Paisley's on with Peyton, or they're talking about Walter Payton Man of the Year in those situations. But just trying to find the right storytelling that you could attach your brand to in an authentic way, and get the impressions and the connection points that you're trying.
And it's a perfect segue for the next question. It's almost like we talked yesterday or something. But so let's talk about consumer consumption. The evolution of consumption of content, whether it's linear, digital, streaming, you name it. It is getting harder and harder to find the consumer because we've moved from a pull environment into a push environment, right? We've got to push our content to where they live. How does that change the way you look at sponsorship? And let's talk about the Crew, for example. Yeah. The Crew moved through MLS with the Apple TV deal, which was a historic deal for the league, but puts the league behind a paywall. What does that mean from a sponsorships perspective?
Yeah, it's a big shift, especially a jersey sponsor that it counts a lot of those impressions and where you're showing up, and now you don't have as much data right now on kind of first year, and again, hopefully there's upside overall and kind of a balance there. But yeah, it's something we're paying close attention to. Existing assets that were there in the agreement, you have to figure out alternative solutions and make goods that because it's a relatively clean broadcast in that case. So yeah, that just trying to work and navigate those different relationships and how teams are distributing their product. The NWSL is going through an exercise right now, and they'll change up kind of, or likely make some modifications on what that looks like for them in the future, and we'll adjust and try to make sure Nationwide still shows up the right way, and we can deliver our message. But yeah, it's getting harder and harder. I mean, we utilize as a brand different platforms to try to hit the different audiences and get younger. And we launched TikTok during Super Bowl, which utilized all of our Walter Payton Men of the Year nominees as a great way to do it in a big way, and have evolved to do more in that space. So a year ago, if you had asked me if we would have a TikTok channel, I wouldn't probably have said yes, but trying to continue to get younger and stay relevant is harder based on the fragmentation of everything.
What's your favorite personal dance you've done on TikTok?
I will not get on there and dance, but we had Demario Davis from the Saints that was our best performing video. He was amazing. He had a jingle on his phone that he had kind of just done on his own, and it just kind of took off. So you never know what's going to go on.
Well, we're all eagerly awaiting your first dance there. So with that change, with the fragmentation of media, how much are you putting the responsibility back on the properties that are pitching nationwide to demonstrate their ability to, at the end of that partnership, demonstrate success for you?
Yeah, I mean, you have to both work at it. I mean, we have some proprietary data on our end that we've got to obviously keep track of and see how our production and our lift of those that we're entertaining and the access. But yeah, the more information that they can bring, it's always helpful in justifying kind of the the art and science of the measurement plan that you put together that tells the full story of the value that you get from any relationship. But yeah, it's teams are doing and properties are doing a better job. There's more information out there. It's just kind of making sure it fits to tell the story you're trying to deliver.
All right, fill in the blank. Properties need to do a better job of.
And this is probably not just a property, but just the consistency. We've seen a lot of turnover in staff, which hurts kind of the momentum that we build with different relationships. So if your account person turns over multiple times in a season or every season to have to re-educate, and so we even on our agency side, we have had great consistency on who's working on our business and knows who we are, what we do, and can help us be more efficient and effective with the dollars that we have. So that's kind of a broader one. It's hard. I'd say the other one would be work with us to invest in a platform. So I gave the example of what we've done with the NFL and really cutting a check on their end to build something together. We've seen great things happen when that occurs.
That's great. All right, a couple fun questions, kind of take the pressure off here. What's on your sports bucket list?
Sports bucket list. Probably, I've been fortunate to do a lot of really cool events, but I'd say Wimbledon sometime. Like to get out and see something a little different, foreign country, big event like that.
Yeah, that's an amazing event. I haven't been there personally, but have friends who've gone, and they've just raved about it. Other than the Chiefs being your favorite team, who's your team tonight, and what are you hoping to see for that team?
Yeah, you can by the deep sigh, you can tell I'm a Browns fan. So I don't have a I don't have a first round pick tonight, but yeah, hopefully they'll make some good decisions over the next couple of days.
Well, I mean, before yesterday, as a Jets fan, I had a pretty miserable experience as well. So.
I've never seen so many happy. I was at an event last night. So many happy Jets fans just going up and down the aisle, willing to talk anything about the Jets.
Note to self: if you thought we were insufferable before, just wait. So who's going first tonight?
I think Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Bryce Young. We actually had a great event last night with here in the stadium with C.J. Stroud, wonderful young man. I'm a homer. I'm a Buckeye, but. He was incredibly, open to talk, and it was great. But so I was hopeful he might go one, but I think it's probably going to be Bryce.
Yeah. Good luck to all the draftees tonight. I mean, what a life-changing experience and opportunity tonight, and amazing for Nationwide to be so closely involved in the experience and have the opportunity to activate. We've come to the end of the Q&A from my end. We'll open it up for a couple of questions. If anybody has any questions for Jim. Nobody has any questions for Jim. Don't make them. There we go. Here we go.
So for the multiple fans here, obviously platforms that you guys activate, what, when you kind of see it evolving moving forward, what are you looking for it to or do you see it evolving?
I think just want to continue to tell these stories of what the guys are doing. So every year it's gotten harder. And the teams have done a better job to submit the videos, the heart-wrenching stories that what they're doing, and ultimately be able to make that decision and narrow it down is very, very hard every year. We always say 32 winners. Somebody does have to win. But I think just continuing to do more from a content standpoint. So we did a project with Omaha and took 5 teams this year that we did kind of a surprise and delight with the players and their causes and just showing the impact of what they've been doing, like Cam Hayward with the Steelers and a few others. So just trying to find more creative ways to connect with the audience, but also get the message across.
Any other questions?
So we've talked a lot about pro, but I have a college property. Small, the best and brightest student athletes. How does that not get lost in a portfolio like you have?
Yeah, college, we've done some things, and we have a relationship with Iowa State, Iowa, and some places, schools that are in our markets. We've just made the decision to, NIL, comes to our, on my desk quite a bit, and we've just, a conservative company, conservative brand, putting a 100-year-old brand in the hands of a 19, 20-year-old student, that's just a little riskier than kind of where we are right now. Not to say there aren't certain situations and dinners and events and things we might do from here to there. But so we, the collegiate space is, especially in our category, is very competitive and good for Allstate and others that have done a really good job there. So we've got to really be selective in where we do spend our dollars, where we think we can make the biggest impact, and that's been our strategy up to this point.
One last question.
Hey,
Okay.
Hi, Jim. Marissa Solis from the NFL.
Marissa, good to see you.
Just want, first of all, thank you for your partnership. It's been amazing. My question is, how should sports entities like the NFL continue to think about partnership? How do we evolve it? How do we make it better so that it continues over the years? Content aside, right? Because that is certainly one thing, but what are other things that we need to be thinking about?
Yeah, I think just continuing to, one, I mean, some of the best relationships have, brand side folks that have moved over into the property side, honestly, that can understand kind of the needs, the timelines, everything else, which I think is important. So getting the right talent to help and support brands in what they're trying to do. And as I said, kind of bring other tools to the discussion and measurement and kind of ultimately the creativity of maybe, trying to creatively solve, any opportunities that present themselves. But yeah, appreciate the partnership, and the NFL obviously, our biggest and best that we have, and excited to continue that for years to come.
Excellent. Thank you guys for your time. Jim, great sharing the stage with you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.